And we are live. Hello, everyone. I'm Todra Candle, the Assistant Conference Director for the 37th Annual Novelist Inc. Conference. That is a mouthful, which will take place in St. Pete Beach, Florida from September 23rd to September 26th, 2026. Joining me today to help conduct her very first NINC speaker interview is our social media volunteer, Heather Pickert. Heather, would you wave hello? Tell everybody hi. There you go.
Hi.
Every year, several hundred NINC members and industry guests descend upon St. Pete Beach, Florida, for top tier educational workshops and high level networking, all in a relaxed beach atmosphere. Mel said the other day, we're a beach conference with an educational problem. And I think that's a great way of putting it. We would love to have you join us. Please go to ninc.com for more information. That's NINC.com. Without further ado, today we are interviewing Nicholas Erik, who will be leading two workshops this year. The first is Facebook ads, what's working in 2026, which we know is going to be very popular. And the second is why the next 3 years will redefine your creative business, how to maximize your writing time by letting AI handle 90% of your admin and marketing. Whew. Nick, thank you so much for joining us today. We're glad that you could be
And thank you
here.
for having me. Yeah, it's great to be here, and thank you for inviting me back to speak at
Oh,
NINC. Looking forward to
definitely.
it.
We're looking forward to it too. Tell us a little about your workshops and what inspired you to teach these topics.
So there have been a lot of changes with Facebook ads, and that's been a very hot topic of discussion in the author community, as I'm sure you know. And just navigating those changes with everything that Facebook has recently adjusted on the ad platform over the past year and a half with the Andromeda update, different settings, them incorporating AI much more heavily into both the ad settings and just their ad platform in general, and figuring out what the new best practices are, sharing those with authors. That's really the basis of that talk. And then the second is about AI, which is also a very, I suppose, more of a hot button topic still, even 4 years later, when ChatGPT was released, three and a half years later, which is really when AI hit the mainstream. So that's more about not writing with AI, which, if that's something that anyone listening to this does, like, that's totally fine. I think that there are a lot of use cases there, from writing with AI and using it as a partner to editing to those sorts of things. That's not what we're going to be talking about in the talk. It's more on the marketing side and the admin side, because now AI can do things for you, which I'm sure many people have heard this term, AI agents. What does that mean? Well, AI can do something for you on your behalf. You give it instructions, and then it can venture out into the internet wilds and do things on your computer. And that's very different than where AI was at 3 years ago, when I gave a talk at NINC on AI. And there's lots of cool stuff that you can do there with, say, Claude Cowork, which was actually just released earlier this year in, I believe, February, but it feels like about 3 years ago actually now that was released, because everything's moving so quickly. And we'll see what's available. Obviously, in September, we have a long way to go between now and then in AI terms. And maybe there's going to be something different. But right now, I'm using Claude Cowork a lot, and you can streamline a lot of the marketing and the admin, and not just get it to create output for you, but actually automate tasks. Whereas a solopreneur, there's always this endless to-do list of things. And what this finally allows you to do is cross something off basically permanently, which is a very liberating feeling, but it's also a very foreign one where it's not an experience most of us have had over the years, where you finish something and then it pops up the next week, or you have to do it again the next day or whatever. And there's a lot of things now that you can give it a good process and then it can nail it. So that's really exciting, I would say, from just a small business perspective and a solopreneur perspective, where you have very limited time and limited resources, and it can really amplify those significantly for you.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm excited about that one. I'm excited about them both, but yeah.
Yeah, me too. This is very interesting. I've got a question for you too. So, not to ask you to give away your all of your secrets before the talks, but can you share with us one practical tip or insight that the attendees can expect to walk away with, either from one or the other of your talks or from both, if you feel like sharing from both?
Well, I can tie them both together. And
Perfect.
so the biggest obstacle people have now with Facebook, besides getting the ad settings correct, is just the Andromeda update wants what Facebook refers to as creative diversity. What does that mean? Basically, a lot of different creatives. And the ad creative is just the image, the copy, the headline, the combination of those together. Those are what is termed the creative. So you need to be able to make a lot of different images and videos if you're running videos as well. And those are going to appeal to different people. And what I recommend is trying to test 25 plus a week, which sounds like a really high number. And the way that you do that is you can get AI to help you with that. And so you can get AI with the automation that I mentioned to follow a specific process that you give it, and say, like, here's my formula for creating ad copy. Here's my formula for creating a headline. Here's my formula or the guidelines for creating ad images and generating those with AI. And it can create that very consistently.
Yeah.
And what you do is you can upgrade your formulas and edit those over time. So it becomes this asset where you're not starting from however you're feeling that day. Like, the quality of the output, as we know as writers, your creativity one day may not be as strong as another day. And some writing sessions feel good, others don't. Same thing happens with the ads, where sometimes you're inspired with the ads and come up with good ideas, and sometimes you don't. Or sometimes you follow your best practices and guidelines, and sometimes you don't. Well, with the AI, what you can do is not only get it to output a lot of images, copy, headlines, whatever you really want there. It can pull excerpts from your manuscript to use as video scripts, which is very time consuming, especially if you wrote the book, say 2 or 3 years ago. It can streamline a lot of that, but not only can it streamline that and do the work for you, it can do it better because it can follow the best practices that you give it. So it can be very similar to the best version of you that doesn't get tired. It doesn't have off days, as long as you give it formulas. And what you can do is that when you find something new, you can then either edit the formula, or you can add a new formula, and then you have that as part of your playbook. And then you go into Claude Cowork or whatever tool that you're using at that time, and you say, hey, make me ad copy for this book. Or what you can actually do is you can get it to make you a complete campaign end to end by, say, giving it the manuscript, and then it can extract the scenes that work for, say, like videos. It can make you ad copy. It can make you headlines for those. It can look at your book cover and say, like, hey, there's a silhouetted guy on this. Like, this has a certain vibe as a thriller. I'm going to make images that are congruent with this, which means that they have a similar tone, they have a similar visual style. You can dial in how much congruence you want. And So those two things in concert with one another, the volume, that's important with Facebook, but also the end goal, it should be stated with all this, is not the volume, it's quality. And you can increase the quality and the consistency of the quality and the consistency of your output where you're showing up more frequently by using the AI. So it really helps. And I'd say it really helps the most on those days where either you don't want to do it or you have a million things to do, or it's like where things aren't exactly clicking, where you know what you're trying to do with the images, the copy, or you're looking for a specific excerpt or anything else, but you can't quite get things to click together. Well, the AI has that. And if you spent time on a day where you were really on fire codifying those processes for it, then it has that. And that's cool. Again, not just from the time saving aspect, which is what I think most people focus on, but for me, as someone who enjoys running the ads and is trying to run high quality stuff, it really increases the quality bar substantially. And that's exciting. So that's how they kind of fit together. And, you don't have to watch or attend both of them. But if you do, like, then they are meant to go hand in hand with one another.
Very cool. Thank you. Yeah, it makes me want to attend both.
Yeah, same. And honestly, that is probably something I have not thought about before, that AI can show up strong when we have off days, because, I and using um our on days, or days when we feel like we actually can string together words to set it up and to codify, as you said, what we want is a great idea. So that's a great way of looking at it. I'm excited. I've been to your webinars about some of this, and I know it was just touching the top of the iceberg. So I'm super excited about it. You mentioned that you have presented at NINC before, and we are so excited to have you back. What are you most looking forward to about your return to the conference in September?
Yeah, just sharing what has happened with AI. Primarily, I'd say that most people probably know me from the ads, and that's what I spend a lot of my time doing. But AI is really exciting to me, and there are plenty of downsides. But as a creative person, it opens up so many possibilities with your business, and just the moments that I have when I'm talking with people on Zoom where they say, "Oh, I didn't know that you could do that," or like you have this moment where their eyes light up and this entire realm of possibilities opens up. That's really cool. So that's something that I'm looking forward to sharing with people in person, and hopefully giving them some new ideas in terms of potentially completely new directions they can take their business, or ways that they can enjoy their business much more because they don't have to do all these admin tasks that eat up so much of their time and mental bandwidth. Or just maybe it's the case where it solves some sort of annoying problem for them and they're not using AI all that much, but it helps them enjoy their day a little bit more. So I'm excited to share that, and hopefully people get some useful things out of it.
Definitely, definitely. I know they will. I know
That's
that's
so
going to be,
exciting.
yeah, it is.
Nicholas, I love that perspective. I think like it's more creative people need to embrace using AI in strange and interesting and creative ways that allows them to be more creative. And so that is such an exciting and interesting topic to me, and I'm really looking forward to hearing you speak about it. For the time being, before the conference, where can people follow you and get to know more about who you are and what you talk about before we see you in September?
The best place to check out my work is just my website, nicholaserik.com, and that's Eric with a K. And you can just sign up for my free newsletter there, talk about mostly ads, I would say at this point, but other marketing stuff and some other writing related topics as well. And there's also some content on the site, guides and things like that you can check out and see if what I have to say resonates or not. But that's the best way to, check out what I'm doing before the conference.
Fabulous.
And I will say, as somebody who does receive your emails, and it's going to make me sound like a creepy stalker, but I do have a mailbox folder that has your name on it, because I'll be like, okay, I can't read this whole series right now, but I'm going to put it, and it's going to be reading, at the end of the month or in a week or two. So I am always so appreciative of the generosity of you sharing what you're, what you're dealing with, what you're researching, and what you found out. So very grateful for that. And if anybody watching is interested in joining us and attending NIC's sessions, both of them, one of them, I say both, I think they go together nicely, at the 37th annual NINC conference, please go to ninc.com, NINC.com, for more information and to purchase your ticket. Thanks again for being with us today, Nick, and we will see you in September at the beach.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and looking forward to seeing everyone in September.